Hey everyone. Today I'm going to talk about something that I haven't seen a lot of people ever talk about, and that is how to have a complete bowel movement and how we normally do it in nature. And I guess just reading a note recently from a friend who a couple of years ago said that I was absolutely ridiculous and completely amazing. So, in honor of those words, I thought I'd do a topic such as this. So, what I want to talk about today is just that, how to get the proper position, how we normally get the proper position in nature, and how we can kind of do that in our day-to-day lives, and what the benefits of doing that are. And when we can incorporate this, we'll notice that constipation is very much a mental deliberation. We've fossilized these ideas of a sit-down toilet, and this has proliferated into a society that is constipated. And we think having one bowel movement every couple of days is normal. So what I want to talk about here is what is known as the gastrocolic reflex, or what is having the natural impulse to have a bowel movement once food is taken in. So once the stomach has taken in its food, it generally gives a signal to the bowels, which causes a motion called peristalsis. The intestines start to shake, and we feel the need to go to the toilet. Now, in our culture, we're very intellectual and mind-based, so we often override this and this impulse. And it's certainly come to the point where we don't even acknowledge it anymore. We don't live very intuitive lives. So, that being said, when we can better get this impulse or follow this impulse, we can have very more complete bowel movements and subsequently have more regular bowel movements. So when we realize that a lot of people are constipated, a lot of us are constipated, and just thinking about the root word, constipare is actually the root word, the Latin derivative taken for constipation, and that means pressed together. And that essentially means that we've had this food in our digestive tract for far too long, and it's just becoming more and more compacted, so our stools are drier and harder. So our diet and our stress levels can very much affect this, but when we have meat in our diet or a lot of dairy, mucus-forming foods, this really slows down the digestive process and subsequently leads to the food staying in our system for a longer period of time. So just like in the prior video, we talked about undigested proteins, and when we have these constantly staying in our colon or in our bowels, we have these millions, we have miles and miles of capillaries that are just around our colon, and they take in by osmosis a lot of these proteins. So we're taking in the toxins that are still in the colon, and they're constantly being recirculated into our blood. So having complete bowel movements can really, really benefit us. And naturally we would do it in a squatting position. We would have our knees up and actually be in this position. And you can follow Native Americans, or you can follow more primitive cultures, and they see the benefit in this. So, how can we create this on the toilet? And what I commonly use is actually just the garbage can. But you can use 2x4s or find ornaments and have some fun with this. But when we can actually get this motion, we can actually greater relax our sphincter muscles and have a more relaxed lower physiology to pass our feces. So that leads to a lot more fun on the toilet, generally less time on the toilet, and we don't have to have this impulse to try and lean forward to try and get this movement and to get this relaxation. And it's commonly said in our culture that it's usually followed with a grunt, like we start moaning to try and get this. So if we can use simple things like this, it can really help us long term. So, poop well, everyone.